play Dwarves against Men of the West. That's pretty nice. In the first game in the best of 7 semi-finals for the winner bracket in the Warm Tongue tournament for BFME 2 on the patch 1.09 version 2.0 between the best player of the game, Sir, who's also known as Sauron, against the Red Dwarven player Andy Brandy, who's also a BFME 2 expert player, by the way. Hey Beyond, I love your YouTube videos. I'm glad I managed to catch you live. Hey man, thank you so much, PS4 promo. Glad to see you in the chat. And thank you very much for watching the YouTube videos as well. I hope you also leave a like on the videos, because likes, guys, are helping quite a lot. Please do me the favor and leave a like on this video. On any video, I mean, not on this video specifically. To Mineshafts into the Hall of Warriors, just begging, you know, for the likes a little bit. My day was good. Thank you so much for asking. How was your day? Did you play any ranked games today in League of Legends? And if yes, how they went? Did you win them? Did you lose them? 2 Mineshafts, Hall of Warriors coming up for Andy Brandy. We see on the other side 2 farms, 3 farms, and offensive barracks is already up on the field. That's a very early barracks coming up for the Man of the West player Sauron. Into the Gondor soldiers. And yeah, that's something we see a lot when it actually comes to see the Man of the West faction. In like 8 out of 10 games, they would go for the offensive barracks, which might be actually a bad choice against Dwarves, especially now because Andy Brandy was able to discover this barracks, right? And I believe in a one-on-one situation, the Guardians, they should be overpowering these soldiers. Riling call maybe? Yeah, it's a little bit too late from Andy Brandy, but I think it's still fine. Guardians, now they have the level 2 advantage, which means they have charge attack. And they will commit against his barracks. It will be going down, I believe, after the second soldier is coming on the field. And look at this. He's trying to keep the soldiers away from his own mineshaft. The barracks is going down, definitely. That means Sauron has to build another one that's already being in construction. How comes that your videos have never lots of ads? Because I'm not thirsty for that much money, you know what I'm saying, guys? For me, it's about your liking, that you guys like and enjoy the video instead of spamming ads on a 10-minute video, like 4 ads. I don't like this kind of stuff. Because I learned in my life that you should treat people the way you want to be threatened. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like ads. I don't like to watch in an 8-minute video 4 times ads. And why should I do something what I would not like myself to you guys? That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's a great start into the game number 1 from Andy Brandy, actually. He's now going for a counter-attack. The second barracks is coming up for the Man of the West player Sauron after a rough start in the beginning of the game, as he lost the barracks quite early without being able to deal any kind of economical damage to his opponent, Andy Brandy. War Chant is on cooldown. I mean, Rallying Call is on cooldown for both the players. The mineshaft is going to be discovered, but I believe it's gonna still come up on the field. We have no units inside the mineshaft anymore. But we have 1 mineshaft at the bottom left corner. So they should be able once again to win the 1v1 situation. And also, Dwarven Guardians, they have the chance to purchase banner on these Guardians even without buying the banner carry upgrade at all. And that's a great power spike. It's expensive though, 250, it's not like cheap. But they will get the level 2 power spike with the charge attack for additional movement speed and armor, which is gonna make them just overall much stronger and tankier. The charge attack has also synergy with the Rallying Call. This is gonna give you damage, this is gonna give you armor, and you can make your Guardians, you know, hit like a truck and also be as tanky as a truck. Charge attack is coming in clutch. Hola, you're welcome. Beyond Standards, you're a pretty man. Hey man, Miguel, thank you so much. You're also pretty, my dude. Thank you, thank you. This might sound dumb, but can the creator put as many ads as they can? Yes. And Sauron is gonna call it GG, guys. What is going on? What a start into... I mean, the thing is, there is one rule of the YouTube. The video has to be at least 8 minutes or longer for you to be able to add additional ads to the video. We have the red Mordor player Andy Brandy against the blue Man of the West player Sauron from Canada. It's a nice matchup. Again, I personally enjoy this matchup the most. You know, Man of the West against Isengard, Man of the West against Mordor, Elves against Mordor. I believe, you know, just like because of the lore itself, it makes way more sense, especially this matchup between Men and Mordor. It reminds me of the film The Lord of the Rings and The Return of the King. And that's why people have ads every minute. Yeah, but I can understand them as well. You know, when you do that as a full-time, when you are a full-time content creator, that means that's legit your only income. You know, you make only living off Twitch and YouTube. Then obviously they will try to make as much money as possible from a video. And they will also be asking their audience all the time, hey, Prime sub is for free, Prime sub is for free, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. They will be quite penetrant when it comes to actually, because they rely on the money, right? That's the only income they will have in their lives. But luckily for me, that's not the case for me, you know, luckily. At least not for now, but maybe in the future, who knows, you know what I'm saying? I would love to be a full-time content creator. Imagine you are a BFME content creator full-time. Oh my goodness, that would be a dream of mine. But I would rather have a sugar mommy, yes. So we have this defensive opening for the man of the best player. I mean, he was learning from his mistakes in the previous game. 2-3 farms into the barracks, into the Gondor soldiers. We have Orc Pit into the second Orc Pit. I mean, obviously, Mordor is trying to play it a bit more defensively early on, which would kind of make sense because, you know, orcs, they have no chance against the Gondor soldiers in a one-on-one situation. That's why you will always see orc archers, but you need some sort of protection for them. So orcs in the front of a slaughterhouse is a body blocking unit, and your orc archers in the meantime can take care of these Gondor soldiers from a safe distance. Said that BFME isn't as popular, but you still pull over 100+ viewers on Twitch, which is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I cannot complain, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. I have not expected this in my entire life, because when I first started streaming, I was streaming literally for 2-3 people. And you know, that's what the thing is about Twitch. You know, about Twitch, there are potentially much more entertaining and interesting people around in Twitch who are having way less viewers than I do. Because it's the discovery, you know what I'm saying? Discovering on Twitch and finding the channels you want to watch is extremely difficult because Twitch has zero discoverability. With that being said, the only way you know you can actually get discovered is actually through YouTube. And I was lucky because some videos were popping off on YouTube channel, the 1v7 videos, especially in the Battle for Middle-earth 1, which brought a lot of new followers to the Twitch and also lots of viewers, and most of them still watch, and thank you for that, guys. The farm is gonna be under attack, but it looks like he won't be able to take it down. Remember, the farm has 2000 HP, unlike the Tanners with 1000 only. The stable is up on the field for the Gondor Knights. We have a small attack going on. He was able to destroy one of the starting slaughterhouses, which is okay, but it's not the end of the world for Mordor. He needs to take care of this goblin lair. It's the bottom right side. Quality is here really high. The game is too small. Yeah, the game is pretty small, but you know, I'm always, you know, I would like to be a big fish in a small ocean than being a small fish in a, you know, a big fish in a lake than being a small fish in an ocean. You know what I'm saying? So what's the matter if I just want to stream League of Legends now? There are already like 5,000 to 10,000 streamers every single minute, you know, live. Doesn't make too much sense for me. And I personally enjoy this game a lot, and I believe when you do what you enjoy, it's most likely gonna become more successful. You know what I'm saying? Will you switch to YouTube for streaming? I mean, no. For me, the user interface from Twitch is just the best, you know? Like the interaction, Twitch, everybody is connecting Twitch with like a live streaming platform exclusively. And YouTube is for me, at least for now, like a video platform. I never watch streams on YouTube, never. I might be able to get more viewers on YouTube because I have a bigger audience there with more followers, more subscribers, but for me, this is like the atmosphere in Twitch is just greater, you know? At least for now, but you never know what's gonna happen in the future. Maybe Twitch is gonna mess up, maybe YouTube is gonna make some big moves, who knows? Gondor Knights. Great trample into the orcs, very well executed. We have tower guards, Gondor soldiers, Gondor Knights. Every single infantry / cavalry unit is on the field, but we have a troll cage now. As Boromi would like to see, they got a cave troll. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know, Patriot. Exactly. You know, if you wouldn't be able to see this video on YouTube, you would never be able to find me on Twitch either. That's why Twitch discoverability is quite low. So unless somebody is actually getting a recommended video of yours on YouTube, getting more followers, more viewers from Twitch streaming exclusively, I believe is kind of delusional, you know? Am I late? Yes, Sanguk, you are late, but it's okay. The score is 1-0, as you can see, for Andy Brandy. He was having a fantastic start into the game number 1 between Dwarves and Men of the West. Was one of the rare wins for the Dwarven faction, because of the rough start for the Men of the West player. He was losing the early barracks, offensive barracks, instantly pretty much, without being able to deal any kind of economical damage, which I believe is the worst case scenario for Men of the West opening. So we have the tower guards. They are able to keep this troll away for now. The Gondor soldiers, they are trying to get into the range of the slaughterhouse. They will be able to take it eventually down, or even the orc pit eventually. Lots of pressure on the Mordor player. Gondor Knights, nice micro from Sauron. Sauron is actually having an insane micro, by the way. Every time you see him, you know, being able to trample down the enemy archers when there are like 5 pikemen nearby. He's like, you know, playing off host, but it feels like he's on host. That's why it's so fun to see him playing with the Gondor Knights. Oh, but look him. Oh, be careful. That's mountain troll, okay? Run, and he's gonna say, okay, GG. And ladies and gentlemen, the score is dead even after the second game. And the first tiebreaker, the game number 3, is gonna just have the blue Elven player Sauron at the bottom side against the red Isengard player Andy Brandy at the top side. This is the beautiful map Firian Seal, which is one of my most favorite maps in the map pool. Beautiful design. That's why we actually also copy-paste this map into the Battle for Middle-earth 1, the patch 2.22. 2 Malone trees coming up for the Elven player, and early barracks. Okay, that's a furnace into the Uruk pit. Very aggressive opening, definitely, for the Isengard player. But Farsight has been used. Did you guys see that? Farsight, you know, he's able to see now the Uruk pit. I believe that's not going to change anything, because Andy Brandy should be starting still with Urukai to deal as much damage as potentially possible. The barracks is coming up now for the Elven player after the second Malon tree, but the Uruks, they are fast. So if they can make it in time to the Malon trees, remember the Malon trees are so squishy that you can take them down in literally 2 seconds. Now it's about timing, it's about actually being fast. He needs Lorien archers on the field as soon as possible, as the Lorien warriors have no chance against the Urukai. Even though they are more expensive. They cost more than Uruks, but they are definitely weaker than Uruks. Uruks have the chance to use the shield formation, which is something the Lorien warriors cannot do. But the Elven infantry units, they have an advantage, right? They are able to get stealthed around the trees, which is something that doesn't work for the Uruks. And Isengard is also having the War Chant. That means in a combat now between Lorien warriors and Uruks, there is a huge advantage for the Isengard player Andy Brandy. The far side is only giving you vision or extended range for the archers, but that's about it. And the War Chant is going to give you additional movement speed and also additional damage and combat experience. I mean, what Lorien warriors can do is try to stall the fight, right? That's all they can do. Try to buy as much time as potentially possible and wait and stall until the Lorien archers are going to arrive on the field. But I think that's not going to be the case. I mean, it's going to be the case, don't get me wrong, but I believe the Malon tree is going to be still taken down. If he's able to find it, of course. Right now, it's out of the vision. He's able to see it now. Looks like he doesn't want to overcommit. He's taking so much damage now from the Lorien archers, and actually a great start. I was expecting this to go really bad for Sauron, but he managed to hold the Uruks long enough and defended himself quite nicely. Impressive. Seeing all in YouTube. Hey Miguel, man, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miguel. Really, I mean, this kind of words, what a great person you are. I mean, motivational words, you know, giving kind of compliments. I like it. Thank you so much, man. I don't know what to say. You are the audience I'm aiming for, you know what I'm saying? That still only counts as one. True. So Lorien warriors, the furnaces are extremely squishy, and look at the damage they will be able to deal. Elves though, holy moly guys, what a start. I mean, that hurts a lot. Yeah, true, Isengard has a really strong eco in the mid to late game, but we are in the early game and Isengard has only 300 available command points. It means his eco isn't looking that great. He needs to survive until the mid to late game with the devastation, industry, field of fires and stuff like that to grow rich, which is not the case for now. Chase them down. Remember the war chant, when it's available, it also gives you 10% increased movement speed, which will give you also in many situations the catch potential. Lorien warriors, they will be taken down against the Uruks. 1 power point collected, 300 command points available for the Isengard player. We have 450 command points, 50% more command points available for the Elven player in compared to the Isengard player in the Brandy. And he has nearly 2 power points collected as he's building up the stable. His far side is almost back up. But for now, there is not a single Malon tree which was destroyed yet. And that hurts the Isengard player. I mean, it's a very defensive playstyle, but look at the placement. Those are the small details which can make a difference between a good player and a great player like Sauron. The placement of the units, the micro, when to engage, when to disengage, when to run, when to fight. He knows every single time if this is a winnable fight or not, and he takes always favorable fights every single time. Farsight has been used. The Warg Riders are on the field. Go for a trample. They have no protection here. Holy moly. Go for a trample and destroy the Lorien archers. The first Malon tree is getting demolished. Retarded going wrong. What is going on? I mean, he has no pikemen. I would just trample them at this point. Because if you wait a little bit longer, it's gonna hurt. He might be able to destroy the stable though. The Warg Riders are able to deal great amount of damage. They are chunking this stable down in 2 pieces. In like 2 seconds. 2 seconds, and the Lancer Battalion is not gonna make it out of the stable. That's a pretty nice move. Now disengage with the Warg Riders. Great. And all of that, by the way, the one single Warg Rider is keeping the Elven player Sauron in a check situation. He's checked at this point. And one single mistake would mean checkmate, you know? So the stable has been taken down without any Lancer making it to the battlefield. That's a very great situation. Hopefully Andy Brandy is gonna be able to snowball his lead and his momentum to the victory. But that's a reasonable and a great size of an Elven army with lots of DPS. So we will need definitely more Warg Riders for the Isengard player. Hey Falcon, welcome. So we see also more Uruks coming. 450 command points available for the Elven player, and Isengard was able to catch up. He is only 50 command points behind. That's a very greedy move though, because 2 archers, I don't know if this is gonna be enough. You know what I would love to see? Berserkers, boys. But they are so expensive too. You need to get this, the Uruk pick to level 2 first, and then you need to invest 300 resources for one single unit.
Don't draw attention.
Okay, so looks like Isengard doesn't want to take a fight. You know, he doesn't want to commit on this fight for whatever reason. We have Arwen on the field. Look, this beautiful woman. Oh my goodness. But with this profile picture on Tinder, guys, I'm telling you, she will get DMs every 5 minutes. Humans, dwarves, goblins, and hell, even orcs would try to hit her like a truck. But she only lets Aragorn to hit her like a truck. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty loyal girlfriend. Warg Riders, go for a trample. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt. Nice trample. They were also in the whole ground stance, but it doesn't change too much. Arwen is randomly getting dismounted now for whatever reason. The pikes are committing against the barracks, and the barracks is going down. So instead of trying to defend himself, he actually goes for a counterattack, which actually turns to be a great call from Andy Brandy. The barracks is going down. Multiple Malon trees left and right are getting destroyed and crushed. The question is, can Sauron, the Elven player, deal the same amount of damage now to his opponent? He has pikemen, and remember the pikemen are dealing crazy amount of damage. What a commitment. What a sneaky clumping. And look at this. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. In BFME 2, you cannot ignore such a force. You cannot do that. If you do, you will literally lose everything what you got in 8 seconds. Krivin is going to be used to nullify the effect of the rallying call, but that doesn't even mean anything. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Dude, 3 structures in literally 5 seconds. Just like that. Maybe he would need some crossbowmen on the field, but it's fine, you know, it's not the end of the world because he was able to deal similar amount of damage, destroying multiple Malone trees. Isengard though is dropping down to 250 command points only. That means he has only one single furnace, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Elven player has still 350 command points. Here's a Malone tree level 1 here, building more and more and more. But he has a lot of units, and that's something the Isengard player doesn't have. And he still keeps ignoring the army in front of his fortress. That doesn't make any sense to me. You need to take a fight. You cannot let them destroy everything that you get over and over and over again. Arvin, the protector of the Elven country, is almost level 3. We see multiple Malone trees coming up next to each other just to be able to keep the command points as high as possible. No production building left for Isengard, and no production building left. Bad trample for the Elven player, and he's saying, okay, GG, what a performance from the Elven player. They were going actually for a base trade, but the thing is, Elven player had some units to defend himself, while Isengard was completely ignoring the enemy army in front of his castle. I don't know about this matchup though. Dwarves against Mordor can be, you know, kind of snowballing into the favor of the Dwarven player, Andy Brandy, if he's playing that well at the beginning, early game, early mid game. But I believe the longer the game goes on, the more he's gonna struggle against Mordor, you know, because the main weakness once again, and the only reason why dwarves keep losing the games is because they are such a snowbally faction, and if they fall behind, they will not be able to catch up anymore since they are so extremely slow. So when you play against dwarves as Mordor, I believe you need to kind of scout the area all the time. That's a big map though. Mirkwood 2 looks like that. It's a very, very well designed map. Also one of the most recent maps in the 1v1 scene in BFME 2. Looks pretty nice to me. It's an Elven, you know, Elven map obviously. So we have 2 slaughterhouses into the 2 orc pits coming up for the Mordor player. Sauron. On the other side, dwarves are building up 2 mineshafts into the Hall of Warriors. Now we gotta keep an eye on the builder. On the long bearded builder from Dwarven player Andy Brandy. Because the builders in this matchup for dwarves are extremely important. Sneak a little mineshaft in and you might deal crazy amount of damage. That's why it's important for Sauron, the Mordor player, to keep scouting every single possible area which Andy can use to build mineshafts at. Gloindru. What is Gloindru? Gloindru. That's actually a nice name, dude. You know, like a combination of Gloin and Balindru. Maybe his son is gonna be named like that. So the Eye of Sauron is saying, I see you, and is scouting everything. He was not able to see the builder, unfortunately for him. I mean, let me check the vision from Mordor player. So Mordor has no vision around this side, right? He's able to see until this point. It means eventually a mineshaft here would be a very good choice, or here. You want to build mineshafts in a situation like that, in which they cannot be attacked from every single side at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So just sneak it in and build a mineshaft right here, out of the vision from Mordor. And if you can move from this spot to this spot with like 2 or 3 guardians, you might be able to deal crazy amount of damage to Mordor's economy. Because Mordor is scouting mainly the top side and also the middle side. So he has 0 vision around this area, 0. They have double orc pit, orc archers for the defense, 1 of them at least, and dwarves, they are not building up the forge works yet. So in total he has now the 2nd guardian up on the field. You also need to kind of respect the orcs though. You cannot let them do what they want. You need to defend this. So 2 guardians and 1 pikeman, which might be more than enough. So orcs, they are still not having the vision control around this side. But now the army is coming. The dwarven army approaches. Rallying Call will be potentially used on them. Yeah, it's available. He kind of missed it a little bit, but it's fine, I guess. As long as you hit like 1 or 2 units from a battalion, they should be still fine. Orc archers are doing a great job. Orcs are trying to stall the fight and keep them away from the slaughterhouses, but they won't be able to do that for a long time. The slaughterhouse is getting demolished, which is smart. Otherwise, those guardians are gonna hit level 2, which would unlock the charge attack for additional movement speed and armor, and the chance to trample down the enemy lines. In the meantime, the counter-attack, the mineshaft, is surrounded very nicely from Mordor player Sauron. It will be definitely taken down. Remember, rebuild is not available. It's close, but I guess it's not close enough. They have still many orcs hitting it. Also, look at this commitment. Look at this clumping, you know what I'm saying? That's why you need to make sure that there is no space in between the buildings like that. Okay, in the meantime, the Dwarven army is still pushing. The Pikes are running for their lives, but running away as Dwarven units is not the best call, because you cannot run away fast enough. I mean, Mordor was actually doing a phenomenal job. I was expecting this to be much more successful for Dwarven player Andy Brandy, but he was not able to deal that much, you know, that much damage. Not even a single orc pit has been taken down. The orc pits are so squishy that this one pikeman here could have taken it down in literally 2 seconds. I mean, you die anyway, right? Because running away is not an option. So I believe what you need to do is just stand and deal as much damage as potentially possible and just, you know, accept your death. So this mineshaft here has been taken down. This mineshaft has been protected for now. The battle wagons are going to join the battlefield once the fort works hitting level 2. They have the same colors, yeah. I don't know. I was not paying attention, guys. Sorry for that. I will make sure that the colors are matching with the scoreboard in the upcoming game. We have a Nazgul on the field now. We got a Nazgul. And once again, the same situation. Clumping. And you see how hard this is for the dwarves to defend? Because of the positioning. The positioning is so important in this game. Look at this positioning. How you want to defend this? You cannot get in between this anymore, right? So you can just kill them one by one. And if this would be no orcs but something else, like even goblins or soldiers, they would be able to take down this mineshaft already. I mean, orcs are the weakest, you know, in the sportman department, but they're also the cheapest one. So losing them is not a big thing, but he was almost able to destroy the mineshaft, which is pretty painful. Nazgul, almost level 2. I mean, he's gonna get level 2 in no time. Look at this, like one more guardian, and there we go. Really close for the Dread Visage to be unlocked. The mineshaft is gonna be found and taken down. He's defending all the sides at the same time, doing a phenomenal job, you know, to keep scouting every single area, to be aware of a potential surprise attack, because that's the only thing that can hurt the Mordor player Sauron at this point. Like, if you don't pay attention in one big push, as we have seen many times, the push in BFME 2 is so effective. Like, if you underestimate the enemy army, they will be able to take down your orc pits, your Haradrim pits, or whatever you have, including your slaughterhouses, all of them in like 10 seconds. That's why keep always some units around to defend yourself, like he does. Or build some towers around it. They don't cost too much, but they give you a lot of safetiness. And in most cases, better safe than sorry. Hey Enumara, welcome. And you look at this, the Nazgul was able to destroy the mineshaft, level 4 already. Big commitment. I see you. Did he Warchan them too? Yes, Warchan and Eye of Sauron at the same time. They are able to stack with each other. Oil barrel has been used, and Mordor is kind of forced to regroup with the army. The Nazgul needs to be a little bit closer to the army to debuff them. Nazgul is looking for, I mean, the Nazgul, not the Nazgul, the battle wagon is looking to get into the backline. The Easterlings are trying to deny that. They will be able to keep the battle wagons away from now, from this area for now. Oh my goodness, man. I see level 6 Orc Archer, and that's the one Orc Archer he was recruiting at the very beginning of the game. And that's so, you know, like, that's what I like about BFME 2 the most. Like, keeping the units alive and getting them to a certain level, level 5, level even potentially 10, is so much more important in compared to Rise of the Witch King, in which losing units doesn't hurt you that much. It still hurts you, don't get me wrong, but like in Battle for Middle-earth 1, it's the most painful experience losing any of the Gondor Knights. But in BFME 2, it makes more sense to keep them alive too. Like Guardians, for example, level 3, level 5, level 7, level 10, they will get a movement speed boost. So if you want to get the maximum value of your Guardians, just keep them alive and get them level 10. With the Mordor money though, he might even go for a potential Felvis very soon. If he can keep expanding like that and keep protecting his slaughterhouses like that. Level 2 slaughterhouse here on the spot. You see, actually he has many slaughterhouses being built next to each other. He doesn't expand too offensively. You want to keep everything in a small radius around the fortress, just to be able to protect them a little bit better and easier. So expanding way too offensively is gonna make it way harder for you to defend. Here you can be on one single spot and kind of react, you know, kind of rotate to bot side, to the top side, because the gap in the distance between the slaughterhouses is not that big. Go Elephants. Is he going for the Momo kills? No, I don't see Momo kill pan. But I would love to see Momo kill pan, to be honest with you, Hakan. Would be great. 7 power points collected for the Mordor player. He might get the chance to use the Tainted Land if he wants to. Remember, the Dwarven faction has no land, so nothing can cover the Tainted Land, which will grant you the additional increased armor. The Nazgul against 3 battle wagons. Extroverts on all of them, actually. And nothing sportive for the battle wagons for any Brandy. Using them actually for harassment. The Nazgul doesn't care. Nazgul doesn't take, you know, almost no damage from the extroverts. Mordor orcs are approaching from the bottom left side. More Mordor orcs are coming from the middle side. And also from the top side at the same time. Like a sandwich situation now. Any Brandy in his Dwarven army is gonna get sandwiched from all sides at once. And that's how you want to make a great usage of your outnumber advantage. So when you have more units on the field, just split them up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be grouped against a faction with 3 battle wagons and just a much stronger army in which the quality can make a huge difference. Easterlings, that's why you don't want to group them like that, because he can't
against the power of Mordor.
At the same time.
There can be no victory.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. You know, because he was, he was using potentially the shortcut, and then he was, having them all grouped at the same time, and then all 3 of them using the oil gas at the same time, which is not the best thing in the world. We have the arrow volley now for the Mordor player, for the worst case scenario. Arrow volley actually dealing great amount of damage to the cavalry. I don't know if this is also the case against the battle wagons. We shall see. Mordor is committing. There is nothing that can hold him back. And we have Gloin, the son of Gimli. He's looking angry. Look his profile picture, boys. But is he enough to defend this? The mineshaft, almost level 2, is going down just like that. He's surrounded. He might be able to kill the Nazgul. Nazgul is very weak against Gloin. I mean, Gloin is so strong. Boom, from level 1 almost to level 4 instantly with one single slam, which also reloads quite fast. But look at the Mordor army, guys, at the top side. The Fort Works is going down. What are those battle wagons doing? I'm wondering. I haven't seen them for there they come, finally. But there are Easterlings. Don't trample them, because we have seen this many times. What happens if they get touched by one single pikeman? They will die. They will go down. Oh my goodness, man. Build me an army worthy of Mordor. I believe that's what Sauron meant. And not the player Sauron, but, the Maya, the Lord of the Rings Sauron himself. I mean, he's playing on his main faction, I guess, because his name is Sauron, right? Very creative name, by the way, from Sauron, the Canadian player. And he's playing the Mordor faction, which is his own faction. I mean, kind of expectable that he would win this one, right? I mean, you can see that, right? Andy Brandy is such a great and experienced player in BFME too, but Sauron is something, he's built different. Sauron is built different, guys. I'm telling you. Like, the amount of knowledge and the amount of experience, potentially less than from other players, because he's not spamming games anymore. It's not like he's playing every single day 10-15 games. There are way more active players than him, but in every single tournament he's participating, he's coming online just for the tournament games, plays his tournament games, wins most of the time, and then just leaves after that. And this is impressive. And he can play the same level of this also in Rise of the Witch King. He's also one of the best Rise of the Witch King players as well, which is crazy if you ask me. I mean, the same situation also goes to Ave Have. He's also the same, he plays BFME 2 quite decently and also extremely well in Rise of the Witch King. And I have not seen anybody, from Rise of the Witch King doing the same situation for both the games at the same time. And LLL, he's gonna miss the arrow volley, unfortunately, on the battle wagons. Was a sneaky one. How about BFME 1? I would smoke him there. I mean, I think he never played BFME 1, I believe. Gabriel, all you need to do is just to go to Google and type Game Ranger, and then click on the very first result of search and download the Game Ranger application. It's really quite easy. And Game Ranger should be able to recognize your game when the game is installed properly. It will be able to find your game and it will give you the chance to play the battle from Middle of Kingston 9. Huge Mordor army once again. Oil bottles, one of the battle wagons is down. He was running into the pikeman and Sauron has to reposition now. Nazgul is on the hand, looking for his juicy battle wagons. Oh boy, hey. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not a Felbeast. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's the Witch King himself and not killing both the bad. What a badass moment. The Witch King is like, no battle wagon can kill me. You fool, die now. Look at him, boys. He looks like a boss to me, you know what I'm saying? I like Witch King a lot. I wish he would have more, effects in the films. I mean, he was the one who killed Theoden at the end of the day, right? That's pretty impressive to kill the King of Rohan. He did more than everybody else, from the evil side at least. I mean, Lurtz kind of killed Boromir, so one Isengard hero killed one Fellowship member, and one Mordor hero killed one important character like the Tyrion. And the Witch King committing against the fortress. Extrovers, what can they do? Level 2 is unlocked, Dread Visage, and the thing is, look at that. When you have Witch King and he actually is dismounted, if I'm not mistaken, when dismounted it can pierce through the level 5 fear immunity from the enemy hordes. So if you have like level 5, automatically you're fear resistant. But Witch King's Screech can, pierce through that. Okay, boys. I think that's it. I guess. He has the heal now, and Mordor is healed. He was just able to save his Witch King, or heal his Witch King. First, rush, fail, GG. And there, Andy Brandy is telling it. And that's what I'm talking about. You have the blue Dwarven player, Sauron at the bottom side, against the red Dwarven player, Andy Brandy at the top side. It's a very important match, because whoever wins is gonna move on to the finals of the winner bracket and gets the chance to at least, at bare minimum, get to the third place, which means you 100% get a cash prize. If you are number 1 player, you get 60, number 2 you get 30, and you number 3 you get only $10, but it's still better than nothing. Sauron will go lose the bracket. That's what you are hoping for, right? Hi Shanks, and go. Greetings from Slovakia. Hey man, Brantulis, welcome. Thanks for tuning in and nice to see you in the chat. Two Mineshafts into Roll of Warriors coming up for Sauron, and we have the same situation also for Andy Brandy. The builder is in the middle, and look at this, they are doing pretty much the same stuff. Even though the Mineshaft from Andy Brandy is a bit more defensively, while the Mineshaft from Sauron is a bit more offensively. Look at this distance. The distance here is much greater than the distance here. So they are building pretty much next to each other, and I believe at the beginning of the game they will try to destroy the Mineshaft instead of taking a fight against Guardians. So Guardians against Guardians, may the best dwarf win. What can I say? I like this a lot. The Nazguls are looking for the hobbits, for the halflings, but they are fooling them as always because they are around the other side of the map. The opposite side, my dudes. Because you see the hobbits are moving now. Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee and stuff like that. So not only a lot of time has to be invested into making this map as beautiful as it is, with all the details, textures, but also the scripts to make this like a loop happening all the time. So big shout out to the mappers of BFME 2. You guys can be proud, the BFME 2 players, that you guys have such great mappers in 2022, making still new maps, so the game is very impressive. And they just don't get the love they deserve. It's not easy to make maps like that. Great reaction time. Me or you? Builder. Okay. Any Brandy is complaining about the host, huh? Zoom or Shanks? Hell yeah, brother. Let's go, boys. You want to see Zoom? Okay, guys. Let's cast like that. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? This controlling. I have the power, guys. I like that. I really do. It's not like I'm not gonna zoom out like this all the time, but the ability for me as a caster is so nice. I love that. When there is a fight here and a fight here, I can slightly zoom out and boom, I can cover both the fights at the same time. I think it's a perfect tool for me as a caster because I am hosting tournaments most of the time. I'm casting most of the time. and I personally enjoy it a lot. Even in League of Legends, the casters, they have the chance to zoom out through the entire map. And they can rotate, slow down, they have like so much control of that. Which gives you lots of freedom when it comes to, you know, cast it. And catch all the actions at the same time. So the first big attack from Sauron is incoming. He has a couple of Guardians around his side. You ever play Overwatch? Nope, never played. What? Hey? What's going on, dude? What happened? What happened?